So I'm not going to lie, I didn't think I'd have to bother doing this video because when Schabby came to me and said, "Hey, Booster, how many tweets, how many likes do I have to get for you to make gross video, Vestri?" I was like, I just wrote a number for fucking 50, I don't know. I didn't think you were gonna make it, but now the time of recording we're at 73, so I have to halt all my other videos to make this now. Thanks, buddy. My dozens of viewers are going to be heartbroken. But you guys know these are my pals, and I think Vestri is just that. let's get into it. Alright, we're already starting strong here as we gaze upon Shabby's beautiful self-insert named Damon, who only coincidentally looks just like Schabby. I mean, look, Schabby, everyone knows, okay? Everyone knows it's just supposed to be you. Just stop lying to people, stop lying to yourself. Some insider knowledge here. Schabby just drew himself even buffer and tougher looking, and he said, "Pickle, I want to write script about my adventure with big axes and babes, and I know ninjutsu and ride motorcycles and fight dinosaurs." And Pickle's like, "Alright mate, sounds like a laugh." On this cover we also have a beautiful POC over here, and this guy. And here we have some nerd shit no one's going to read or pay attention to, so moving on. On our opening page here, we have Schabby with a single line weight chop up this poor fella who, I don't know what he did to have this coming, but he's just getting well into him. Rawr is all he's got to say about this. Well, this dude is just staring off into the distance. What are you looking at? Then we have a small fight, which concludes with this dude talking shit about how he's going to beat up Schabby, only for Schabby to one-hit him. I guess someone couldn't be bothered drawing a real fight scene. And Shabby's so traumatized apparently from this dream nightmare flashback, he leaps out of bed, away from his beautiful POC Medea, who has no affiliation with Tyler Perry, and goes off to accept a quest from, this dude. You remember him from the cover, right? Yeah. He asks him to go back to that place we conveniently had nightmare flashbacks about that triggered Schabby, but he's offered a bunch of gold. And then he decides to take the quest. Very funny. Schabby then goes on an epic adventure as he has depressing dialogue about how awful it was to kill those dudes in 5 panels, and picks up a handy Chekhov's potion before he enters a generic ruined fantasy tower populated by disgusting walking tumors I'm supposed to believe are goblins. In a fight scene that goes on for far too long, Schabby is owning a bunch of goblins, but then gets a couple of nibbles on him, so this makes him decide now is the time to use the Chekhov's potion so he can safely set himself on fire in what is admittedly a pretty cool shot. Then an even bigger, stronger failed abortion comes along to beat up Vestri Damon, but it stands no chance because Schabby is just so epic. And then we end on Schabby making a silly face as he finds his magical MacGuffin that summons a beautiful pink babe that tells him to run from a threat that hadn't been written yet. So stay tuned for issue 2, I guess. In conclusion, it's alright for a first go. Schabby's over-reliance on cross-hatching mixed with a singular line weight and very uninspired colouring makes the art look less impressive than it should, but he still shows off some fairly impressive perspective shots, and poor Pickles is only brought on to do narration and dialogue, meaning the structure and storytelling was a bit off, which is what gives you things like an 8-page fight scene. But with issue 2 and onwards, the story structure becomes far more solid, and the art and certainly the colouring improves and keeps improving with future issues, and you can imagine what they get up to later on, huh? And how good it gets, yeah? Plug. Later, nerds.